What's up, guys? This is Lucas with NP Photography, and tonight I'd actually like to talk to you guys about stealing other people's ideas. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, there's actually a lot to cover here. I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible. So, how would you feel if you worked your tail off to be able to provide, a service for a company? It doesn't matter what your occupation is and what that company does. And you take your time for a month or even longer sometimes, learning things that honestly you probably shouldn't even try to learn. But you do it so you can apply what you have in your head to something you think they're going to find desirable. And in return, obviously, there's going to be a trade-off. They're going to pay you some type of money, or they're going to work with you on something, however that is. All up to the point where it's the day before you're supposed to sign the dotted line, and they ghost you. Completely disappear out of the picture, right? And then you find out about 6 months, later down the road that they're ended up taking, your 15-step process, and they're using, someone else that's at a fraction of the cost to do it, rather than paying you for your idea. And to top the cake, because you're so new to the game, you didn't take the time to have it notarized or a lawyer go through any of it or anything on those lines, so you really can't just say anything. You have to sit back and watch the show. Well, I hate to say this, guys, but this has actually happened to me not just once, but 3 times in my career so far. Extremely embarrassing. It is something that I'm not proud of, and I really hope that I never make this mistake again. Last time I made this mistake was about a year ago, but it's really ironic because yesterday, the third company, the third situation, excuse me, guys, just came back around, and I started seeing them on, obviously social media, posting photos. Who would imagine, right? These ideas that I came up with, and not only just ideas, but, business strategies to grow not only just, on the photography side of things, but also to be able to grow, them as a business. So I think there's some takeaways from this, and I feel like this could probably apply to a lot of people out there, not just in the photography world. Obviously, that's my point of reference, but to a lot of people, millions of people. If it doesn't, and you guys just watch this video and don't get anything from it, I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk. All right, so I think some of the takeaways from this is, 1, you need to have a portfolio built up behind you. Now, this part is kind of like a hard truth. Don't quit your day job, especially if you're getting into photography right out of the bat. It might take you a couple years. It's taken me a couple years to be able to build up a portfolio. The benefit of that portfolio is, so when you walk into these, high clients or low clients, it doesn't matter. You're able to sit there and say, here's the services I can provide for you. I've worked with, these clients in the past, and here's my work showing that I can do, what I say I can do. In my head, these are the, this was the image I was trying to go for. This was the design, the creation I was trying to, apply, and I did. Do you like the execution? At that point in time, that company needs to look at you and be able to say, yes, we love it, we're sold, when can we start working with you? Go through the legal, side of things. Don't just go off of a gentleman's agreement, and work closely with that company and never give them the full scoop. The other side of that is they're going to sit there and look at you, and this is probably more likely. They'll bring up to you, well, how can you help us? Well, look at them and tell them, I just showed you my my portfolio work, and look at all these other businesses. They've grew in revenue, or they got this much more social media attention based off of my images, my ideas. So in the future, this is what I can do for you. But don't tell them you're brainstorming genius ideas, because 99.9% of the time they're going to take those ideas and they're going to leave you in the dust. They're going to find someone who can do it cheaper than what you're asking for in return. So I think that's kind of something to take away from this. The other thing to take away from this is that all of those processes that I went through and that I learned wasn't for nothing. I learned a lot of valuable lessons in life, and for my career, and for my business. I learned different strategies. I learned marketing. I learned legal technicalities. I learned all sorts of things off these time frames that I never would have had before. And that is where you get experience. And as a photographer, you can have one of 2 things, or both things, and preferably have both. But a lot of photographers end up flaking out before they ever even hit the second stage. Skills. Skills is one. That happens. I dedicated literally 12, 15 hours a day learning photography for 6 months in a row, literally. I quit my day job and I devoted all of my time before my second son was born to learning photography, because in my head I thought it was going to be this great, amazing thing I was going to take off with. And it has been amazing, and it is continuing to grow. But there's the second thing that hits then, and that's experience. And experience, you can only get that with time. And it's you know, kind of unfortunate, but it's something that we'll all have to deal with. So if you can get through the skill set side of things, and you can get to the experience side of things, and you push through all those hard times with experience, I promise you, you will learn so much, and every failure, there's a positive out of it. You'll never make that same mistake twice. You'll never take that same avenue again. So you really need to pay attention to your failures, because we all learn more from a failure than when we do it right the first time. And I think that is what really separates, you know, the photographers that make it in the industry compared to the photographers that do not. And you have to have the mindset of it's going to take you 10 years to do. It's going to take you 50 years to do. But do you enjoy what you're doing? If you enjoy the process and you enjoy what you're doing, it's going to feel like vacation every day that you go to a photo shoot, every day that you edit, and every day that you're chasing down clients. So just think about it that, you know, on that aspect of things. And just back to the original point, please remember, guys, you know, just don't give out your ideas to anybody. Pretty much don't give your ideas out even to your loved ones, and that's kind of a joke. But I mean, really just pick 1 or 2 people that you're willing to talk to about it, and keep it very close until you're able to execute those ideas. I've even noticed just on creative photo shoots that I've done just for fun, where I'm not getting paid anything, it's just for me because I have an idea I've had in my head. I've actually done those photo shoots and or talked about those photo shoots, excuse me, and in a few weeks time or a few months time, I've actually seen other people do those photo shoots, believe it or not. So it's just, you really need to be careful of who you give that information to when it boils down to not just a passion or a hobby anymore, but it's your livelihood, it's your meal ticket, and it's how you provide for your family. So I hope you guys took something out of this. Please, you know, subscribe if you'd like to. Keep paying attention to me. I'll keep posting different videos about things. By all means, please leave any comment that you want to below. Definitely check them out. If you can find any other questions that you have, or you know, you'd like answers on, I'll make videos on those. I'd love to help everybody out about anything that you guys want to know. All right, everybody. Well, remember, make your life matter. What's up, guys? This is Lucas with the NP Photography. What's up, guys? This is Lucas